downtown pretty late. I spent the week thinking about our next day. It was easier then, so much easier then. Or like that time I picked you up outside of school. You said, screw my dad, I make my own rules. It was easier then.
Howdy, 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 everybody. I am RJ Smith, and this thing of ours is called Crazy News Reacts, where I scour the globe for the most insane, unbelievable, but craziest news videos available. If you're new here, right on, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, got good news today. We hit 1,000 subscribers. Yes, we just need 600 more watch hours in order to go ahead and do all of the little fancy schmancy stuff. Next Friday night will be the first live stream. So you guys hit me up down below and let me know what time you guys are on here. This way I can pick the best schedule. I also would like to welcome Ryan Dente, our moderator here at Crazy News. Today, I'm talking about what I consider to be the worst prison in the world, the Terrorism Confinement Center in El Salvador. So without further ado, let's get started. Interact, comment, share, and put the time you are online so I can schedule these live streams.
Just days after being sworn in for a second time, Bukele releasing images of the massive transfer of more than 2,000 suspected gang members into one of Latin America's largest prisons. Prisoners inside the mega prison named the Terrorism Confinement Center, wearing only a pair of white shorts as they move barefoot. The government saying they will pay for their crimes committed in isolation and without the possibility of family visitation.
This all came about due to an uptick in extreme violence in El Salvador on March 22nd, 2022, in response to the violence that killed 62 people on that day. The newly elected president down there, guys, who doesn't play the radio, he gathered all of these people up with no proof they've done anything. In fact, they've been forced to release thousands because they weren't affiliated with gangs and had no criminal history. So this is a grand sweep of anyone with tattoos, it looks like, guilty till proven innocent.
It was long overdue for El Salvador to have a security policy that was effective in countering the gangs. But by doing so, you must not ask people to choose between their human rights and security.
The inmates coming from 3 detention centers where overcrowding has been an issue. This facility, built to hold 40,000 prisoners in large cells, offering no comfort or programs to prepare prisoners for life after their sentences.
Juntos nos libramos del cáncer de las pandillas.
Bukele's iron fist rule bolstering his popularity across a nation that was once considered among the most dangerous in the world.
So in 2022, the government announced they were building a prison to hold 40,000 people. What? So CCOT was born. That's a really bad place. It currently holds more than 14,000 prisoners. Look at the video. I mean, it's worse than a slaughterhouse at a farm.
Earlier this week, authorities setting fire to $67 million worth of cocaine that was seized in May. And just hours ago, the country's Minister of Public Safety sharing photos of arrested alleged gang members still being hunted down by police. Moves like these instilling a sense of safety among the general public.
Los niños hoy van a las escuelas sin sus padres, caminan seguros con la seguridad que van a regresar a sus casas y no van a ser secuestrados por los pandilleros.
However, human rights groups say civil liberties have been violated as a consequence, including thousands that have been unjustly detained without due process.
Now check this out, right? Here in the U.S., prisoners are treated horribly by correctional officers. You know, this place, it takes it to a level of breaking to have to go through that every day. So let me get this straight. No visits, no phones, no contact with your family, very little, if any, food. He said no hygiene. Can you imagine 14,000 people, human beings, stuffed into this place with 70 people in a cell? Imagine the stench, guys. And the human beings here are not considered to be human by the guards. And that's known facts. Hey, what? If you ask them, you know, what are the inmates? They look you in the eye and tell you there are humans and there are terrorists. So if they're not seen as being human, you've got to imagine the treatment is much worse than we're seeing.
The people that we see in these photos, we see them, you know, all tattooed and everything. But we're also talking about innocent lives that, have been imprisoned without any reason. Their families are really struggling and suffering.
Si los hubiéramos escuchado.
Last September at the United Nations, Bukele standing behind his actions, saying the decisions he took were correct and that if he listened to critics, El Salvador would go back to being the murder capital of the world.
Check this inside information. When they arrive on the bus to their final resting place, they are walked through an x-ray machine to make sure there is nothing implanted anywhere or pushed into body cavities. And once you give up whatever it is that you own, if you have anything, they're only given a uniform, boxers, blanket, and towel. There are cells that hold 100 people crammed in, sardines. And like I said, there are no enclosed toilets, showers, or bathrooms. Are you getting the whiff, the stench? They sleep on a metal bed, no mattress, no pillow, nothing like that. None of that chintzy stuff. They have a toilet, but it's not enclosed like we have. None of that. It's just a toilet in the corner. There's only one. I mean, they don't give them the death penalty, but many of these guys are sentenced to more than 1,000 years apiece, like 20 lifetimes. Jeez, what the hell? Now imagine you're held in this place a couple years, being treated like animals to be put in their pen, not even pigs, right? Lights are never turned off. I mean, they put their towels over their eyes in order to go to sleep. They never go outside. They don't know what day it is, month. They don't even know what time it is. They're just in a black void. A few years of this, inmate A is getting out. He's been kept in a sardine can for 3 years. You think you made community safer? That's years, anger, hate. And all the officers in this prison have their face covered, which is going to automatically foster fear, yet being invisible. I hope you liked this episode today. I am RJ Smith, and I'll be right back here tomorrow at midnight. And if you want to get me a cup of coffee, the links are in the channel description. See you later.
Yeah, we had one of those things.